In today's video, I'm going to be discussing the housing market and how it's about to flip, as some strategists are suggesting we could be seeing massive price reductions in about 3 to 6 months. I have all the details for you right here in the video. Let's get into it and discuss what's going on. Alright, finally, maybe a reprieve in the housing market. Over the last couple years, it has been nuts, and affordability has been through the roof. Between prices rising rapidly and high interest rates, yeah, affordability is just not there for most buyers right now, but we may be seeing finally some relief on the horizon here, and I want to bring this to your attention because this would be very welcome news for a lot of people going forward who have been trying to buy a house but yet just simply cannot do it as of the last couple years here. In fact, a new report that was released is now finding we are now at record high prices in housing right now. In fact, as of the latest report here, we're seeing that the median household price across the entire country is $433,588 for the median price home out there right now. That's massive. Just a couple years ago, it was in the mid 300s, okay? So this has gone up a lot. And in fact, this new number that I just shared with you is a new record, another new record in housing prices, okay? However, like I said, some strategists are now suggesting in the next 3 to 6 months, kind of by the end of summer, kind of getting into fall, that time of year is when we're likely going to be seeing these price reductions according to what they're now saying about this. But again, only time will really tell what's going to happen here. And if the Federal Reserve possibly comes out and cuts interest rates at some point between now and then, that is going to also increase the affordability. In other words, making it more affordable for a lot more people to get in and maybe start picking up a home, which would be really nice for a lot of people that have been literally just sitting on the sidelines. However, here's something that's interesting about it. And again, remember, if you've been watching the videos here on the channel for a while now, what do I say all the time? The few favorite words of mine, right? Supply and demand. Literally, it's all about supply and demand. Or in real estate, a lot of times they call it inventory, right? They don't rock around and say, oh, there's supply, but rather they call it inventory. Inventory is literally just the same word as supply. It means the exact same thing. How many homes are currently on the market and available for sale at any given time? Inventory, right? So anyway, here's what's interesting. As of April of this year, so a few months ago, inventory actually increased by 16% year over year. Now, that might not seem a whole lot, but it actually is quite a bit, okay? So an increase of 16% in inventory just on a 1 month basis year over year is actually great. That simply means more supply, more inventory is hitting the market, and unless we have enough buyers to come in and absorb all of that supply, it simply means that more supply in the market means prices kind of need to come down, because unless we have equal number of buyers coming in and picking up those homes and driving prices up or keeping prices stabilized, prices kind of need to come down because now there's competition to sell. And what do people do? They start cutting prices, because that's kind of what you need to do in this type of environment, right? So anyway, this is actually looking pretty good. Now, the strategists, like I said a minute ago, they're looking at kind of like the end of summer, around fall time is when they're thinking that these prices will likely start coming down, because they're going to see increased inventory, increased supply on the marketplace. And because of interest rates being as high as they are right now, not a whole lot of buyers are just rushing the market right now and not jumping in at this time to come and buy something. So with the potential lack of buyers in the market and potential people not coming in as new buyers into this market, obviously there's always going to be the natural ebb and flow of buyers and sellers and things like this. But we're not seeing this huge influx of new buyers flooding the market. Well, as a result, when we see more and more supply hitting the market, that simply means prices will likely come down, especially as we get out of the main buying season when it comes to real estate. Remember, real estate, the buying season is generally spring, basically through the end of summer, maybe a little bit into the first, little while of fall, but that's about it, right? It's about a 6-month time frame. Depends on where you're located around the country as well. Again, it's going to depend whether if you're in the north, obviously that starts a little later in the spring. If you're in the south, it starts a little earlier. It's all kind of relative, right? But again, the winter months are then when the market kind of cools down quite a bit, just like the weather, right? It cools down because people are focused on other things like, hibernating away from the cold, the holidays that are all, joining around that time. So this is actually looking pretty good. Now, something else I want to point out really quickly. We know that the Federal Reserve is out there, doing their thing, right? They're jacking up interest rates. They've been holding steady for the last several meetings with their FOMC meetings that I talk about here on the channel often as well. But there is speculation. There's speculation. Remember, keyword speculation. It's not guaranteed, but there is speculation that the Federal Reserve may possibly be lowering interest rates, cutting a little bit, possibly September, maybe July, something like this, okay? After that, maybe November. But there's speculation that they may be cutting interest rates, okay? So depending on how much they cut, that'll also impact interest rates on mortgages, right? So if they cut, say, 25 basis points, honestly, who cares? That's not going to do anything. It might lower rates a teeny tiny bit. But if they start aggressively cutting rates, then this is going to bring down mortgage rates as well, interest rates on mortgages. Will that make home affordability more inclusive to more people, right? Yeah, of course, right? It'll allow more people to get into homes because now, remember, at the end of the day, buying a home is all about what? The price of the home? No, not really. I mean, it is a little bit, but it's mostly about the monthly payment. That's what everybody looks at. How much is this sucker going to cost me on a monthly basis? How much do I got to pay for this thing every single month, right? So sometimes people look at, hey, I can rent this place over here for say $1,300 a month, and I can buy a house for $2,000. I don't know about that. I'm good renting for a while, right? And that's exactly what people are doing right now. So anyway, it's looking encouraging. Again, like I said earlier, only time will tell what happens here. But when we see inventory actually ticking up when it comes to real estate, and we're not seeing a massive influx of buyers, that may actually be a good thing. Now, let me tell you another perfect storm scenario. Let's just say that inventory ticks up. Let's just say that over the next couple months here, we see the Federal Reserve come forward and lower interest rates by, 100 basis points, 150, 200 basis points. I highly doubt they're going to do that unless we see a massive shift in the economy. But let's just say, in theory, they lower interest rates by, say, 100 basis points, 1%. Do you think new buyers would flood the market? I'm not sure about a ton, but yes, absolutely. Some new buyers would come into the market. Would that drive prices down? Depends. Depends on how many buyers come into the market, and it depends on how much inventory is on the market at that given time, right? That also is going to depend on what happens with pricing. However, if we see if we see interest rates come down, say 150 basis points, we see inventory increase by, say, 10%, and we see an influx of buyers of, say, 30% an inflection of buyers into the market. Would this bring prices down? No. In fact, this would hold prices very steady, and this would hold prices very stable. In fact, you may actually even see prices continue to rise at that point. So there's kind of like this balancing act, right? It all kind of comes down to buyers in the market, available inventory on the market. And again, too, let me point another thing. If we see inventory drop, as in supply on the market actually drop, it reduces, but yet let's just say the Federal Reserve reduces interest rates by, say, 100 basis points, again, a 1 point reduction, and we see an influx of buyers coming in at, 30% increase of buyers coming into the market, you're going to see prices actually go up at that point, right? Because it's more affordable to buy that home because interest rates have come down, more buyers coming in, driving up prices, right? Supply and demand, remember that. And right, we've got a big situation, the perfect storm playing out here. Again, I'm saying perfect storm as an analogy. It's not necessarily meaning that it's perfect, but it means it's kind of the situation playing out like, didn't want that to happen, but now it is happening, right? So anyway, this is what the strategists are looking at. This is what I'm looking at. I watch all the markets very closely. I watch stocks every day. I watch crypto all the time. I'm watching real estate every day. I'm watching all the markets because they're highly correlated, and I like to know what's going on. I like to have an idea what's going on all across the country with markets, things like this, and how it's going to impact our money, our finances, things like that going forward. So if you're in the market to buy or sell, I hope this gives you a little glimpse into what's going on. And realistically, if you're looking to sell something, avoiding the winter months is always a good idea, regardless of where you're located around the country. People are not focused on buying a house. They're focused on holidays. They're focused on other things. But if you're looking to buy, that is generally a good time to buy. Just giving you a little pro tip there, okay? Generally, winter is a good time to buy a house. So anyway, I'm going to leave it at that for now. I hope this helps you. Please subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends on my social media. There's a share button right down below as well. Go back and check out any of the other thousands of videos here on the channel, including those in the video library or those that I've hand selected for you down below in the description at the top of the comment section. And right now, popping up on your screen, you'll see some videos there as well. So until next time, enjoy your day. Thanks so much for watching. Truly appreciate it. And I'll catch you again later in the